Miss Allison, I'm so happy to be here with you. Tell me a little bit about yourself and your role at CI Web Group.
So I am a project manager at CI Web Group. I've been project managing with different agencies for 5 years.
If you were going to give a new client advice for maybe they've worked with a smaller agency before that maybe was a little less organized or had fewer resources or fewer moving parts, and now this is their first experience with a larger agency, a lot more moving parts, uh, professional organization and professional project management, what would you advise them the differences are? What can they expect? Because it is definitely different than hiring your friend down the street.
Yes, definitely different than that. So I think, and I started out working at a pretty small agency. I was their first project manager they'd ever had. So I came in and started working on cohesion between development and design and SEO. And so it was kind of like we had like 40 projects going at once. And so not nearly as big as CI Web Group, so much smaller. But I advised all of our clients there that they need to see us as part of their team. We're all in this together and we're all collaborating and building off of what each other is bringing to the table. So I feel like a lot of clients tend to think that they're not really an important part of the process, like they can just sit back and let us do everything, which we have the capability to do. But I think when a client is really invested and involved in the process, not only does it go more smoothly, but I think they get more of a sense of fulfillment and ownership of the final product, which I feel like is good for everyone's sense of well-being and excitement for next steps.
How can they leverage the internet and Zoom meetings and so forth and still get the same feeling like, as if we were sitting in their office in a virtual environment? What are your thoughts?
So I feel like it all comes down to relationships, and that's just something how I feel in life in general. Everything's a relationship, like our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with our family, our relationship with our coworkers, and that also extends to clients too, right? So if I feel like a lot of times it can end up being like almost an adversarial situation, but I feel like if it could be from the beginning, like building a relationship, getting to know each other as people and building that trust, then everything will go so much more smoothly moving forward. And that's on both sides. That's on our team to be able to build that trust and reach out and connect and actually like show the client we want to know who they are as a person and as a business. But that's also on the client side too, of like kind of knowing that we're here to help. We're here to help you. We want to help you communicate your brand the best we possibly can. And you're the expert. The client is the expert on their business. So we can't do that to the best of our ability unless they are just as invested in the process as we are.
Give me the fundamentals of project management. What's all involved in a professional project manager? What's your day-to-day look like?
Well, I see project management as a servant leader role. And that's why I like it so much, because I really love collaborating. I really love coming into something that's messy and making it clean and organized. And I love supporting everyone else who's super talented in their specific ways to be able to do what they do best.
Let's say somebody's just starting off on just a web project. That's a simple one. Like, what can they do in advance to prep to be able to have a highly efficient, effective, and timely process? How do they prepare to do that?
In my ideal world, when a client comes in and has a kickoff with us, they have all their creative assets organized and ready for us to use. So like photos, copy, and I know that we have writers on our team, but again, the client knows their business best. So if they have like key phrases that really communicate their brand, any like colors that they love, pictures they love, like anything that we can use as an asset to really make the project personalized, if they could have that ready to go for us, so we don't have to go looking for it, that would be like one of the main.
What do you think causes the biggest delays in project timelines?
Having to hunt for things, having to hunt for information or pictures or assets, because if we don't have what we need, whoever's working on it will just make a call and it could be right or it could be totally off. And if we do a bunch of work based on something that's totally off, then that really delays the process.
Do you feel like there needs to be a level of commitment and professionalism from both sides when starting a project like this?
Yes, I absolutely do, because I kind of feel like a project is almost like a living, breathing organism in a way, because there's so many people working on it and adding their energy to it. It develops and changes throughout the process. So just like in any relationship or team, like if one person isn't like invested and coming with a standard of wanting to work as a team and be professional and polite and kind and thoughtful and open, then things just, all the pieces don't fit together in the way that they could if everyone was on the same page in that way.
What are some of the differences you notice about CI Web Group from other experiences you've had in the past?
This is a much bigger company than I've worked for in the past. So like it's taken me some time to learn who everyone is and what everyone does. Whereas in the past, it was just like from the beginning, I knew like the 10 people that I was working with, you know? And I have worked with HVAC and contractor clients in the past, but not like so many that are so detailed. So I've learned a lot about that in my, I guess, almost 3 months here. But in general, like everyone here seems really positive and they feel supported and they enjoy their jobs. And so that's really lovely to see. And that makes me happy to be part of it.